Page 35, black is the color. This lesson is about harmonizing with both hands as an accompaniment to a melody which somebody else is singing or playing or whatever. The first thing I want to do when I get something like this is I want to know what the melody is. I want to hear it. So I look it over. It's 3 lines long. Remember, a line is the whole thing. Those 3 staves across, they're connected with a line. That makes all 3 staves one line because you're doing them all at the same time. So it's 3 lines long. The melodies in treble clef, key signature is 1 sharp. That's either G major or E minor. We look at the end, we see it's an E. E minor, I'm guessing we're in E minor. I don't know that it matters too much when they're giving you all the chords. So I just have a habit of always wanting to know what the key signature or what the key is, because that tells me which notes I'm playing, which black notes I have to include. Now I know I have to include all the F sharps. The E minor key tells me that, even though there's an F sharp in the key signature. 4/4 time signature, I'm just going to play the melody. I want to hear it. The song really is a pretty song when you can get a nice arrangement to it. Now that I know sort of what the melody sounds like, I want to go through and make sure I know what the chords are. So above the staff, the top staff, they give you the name of the chord with the inversion and so forth. And they're starting with an E minor chord. So here, I don't know where you're at, just right here. I just want to hear the chords. I want to know what they are. E minor and then a B minor chord, which is this. And then an E minor. E minor, measure 5, it's an A minor chord here. Then a C chord, D chord, A minor. Then an E minor with a G on the bottom. So it's here. Because E minor is this, and the G. I just did A minor here, so I'm going to do that for E minor with a G on the bottom. I don't go too far. And then back to just a regular E minor. Last line is an A minor chord, an E minor chord, then a G chord with a D on the bottom. That's here. So I went from an E minor chord to the G, just move the C chord, last 2 measures, an E minor chord, a B minor chord, and an E minor chord. Okay, I got the chords, I guess. So I would like to hear what this harmony sounds like with the melody. So I'm going to play block chords with the melody just so I can hear it. I just want to hear it. You don't have to do this, but I'm curious. So it's... I got to come down here. I'm in the way here. I could leave the B out, just play 2 notes. You don't have to play all the notes in a chord. G on the bottom. I just want to hear E minor, A minor, E minor, a G with a D on the bottom. So it's, and you think, whoa, that doesn't sound good. A C, really? It's tension. We're going to resolve it shortly. I hope. Because it sounds terrible. Then E minor, B minor, E minor. Yeah. I just wanted to hear the harmony with it. I don't know about that C chord there in measure 10, but that's what they said. So, okay. Now we'll make up the accompaniment using the pattern they're giving us. And that is, we're doing whole notes and half notes in the left hand. And we're playing the bass. The bottom note, which in most cases is going to be the root of the chord unless it's an inversion. Like in, where is it, measure 7? You have an E minor with a G on the bottom. We're going to play a G in the left hand. So if you just read the name of the chord or the name of the bottom note, that tells you your left hand. You're right there. You're playing those notes. So I'm playing an E. I don't know, they're saying down here. Oh, they want a G on the bottom there for measure 7. Here an E, a D, and a C. See, the dissonance and the edginess doesn't sound quite so bad when the notes are far apart. You can get away with a little more. So when these are here, it's okay. You can do that. But if I were up here, it's like, and that's sort of okay too. You're farther apart, but down here it's not too bad. Here. So I'm playing the bass notes. They're actually just reading the notes. It's the name of the chord unless it's an inversion, and then you're playing the note they tell you for the inversion. Okay. The right hand is going to do the chord, and they've got the broken chord. You're here. This bass clef now. B. So I'm playing a chord as a broken chord, but I'm using the same position as in the music. So I'm using root, then E minor, and then B, and then E minor. That's all I'm doing, and that's all. Measure 5, it's an A. They're telling you up here, because you could have come down here. They're telling you, do it up here. And then C, same rhythm as before. D, A minor, down here. And then an E minor with a G on the bottom. And an E minor. And an A minor, E minor, and then a G chord with a D on the bottom here. Because the G chord is here, but if I put the D on the bottom, it's here. I could have gone down. I could have done that. Although they're actually telling you in measure 10 the rhythm. It's a different rhythm. Here's an E minor, and then a G minor with a D on the bottom, and then a C. So that measure, they're giving it to you. Although you could have done any other rhythm and whatever if you wanted to, if you're actually making it up. And then E minor, like at the beginning, and then a B minor, and an E minor. Now I'll try and put them together. We're here, and then here, E minor, B minor, and then E minor. And keep doing it. E minor, A minor. See, both hands are in root position here. And then a C minor, or C down here. Now you think, well, I could come up here because the melody's up here now, but you have to look ahead, and the melody's coming back down shortly, so you need to be down here. Here. D, and then A minor, and then an E minor with a G on the bottom, and then an E minor. A minor, E minor, a G with a D on the bottom, which is here. That's a G chord, right? And C, E minor, B, and then E minor. So you sort of work out where these chords are and where you want them. Try and stay out of the way of the melody, because sometimes it comes down low and you got to be down here for that. And the melody's up here. You could be a little higher if you wanted to, but just make sure it's going to go with the melody okay. You don't want to playing the same notes that the soloist is doing if possible. Sometimes you do, but in this case, I'm sure they would prefer you do other notes. I'm not doing a play with me on this because this could be anything too. It's up to you. As far as the rhythm goes, And it looks like when you have a full measure, the rhythm is that. And when it's just 2 chords in a measure, then it's that. If you follow that same rhythm, these other measures, it's fine. That works. Now, just for practice, I'm going to go ahead and play this melody. So if you need to play along with something, I don't know how the CD's doing it. I don't care. But this is how I would do the melody. And then you can play along if you want to. I'm going to give 4 counts because there's 4 counts in a measure. I'm just doing the melody. This is so you can practice trying to do a harmony here or something. 1, 2, ready, go.